Shalom, Kol Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that are pushing the word of truth and sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yashawan, back with the WW3 Daily update and salutations, and welcome to everybody. All right. When you speak of World War III, okay, it involves nuclear weapons, if you will. Okay, but what most people don't know is that during World War III, the armies of the world, right, choosing sides, that's not the only war that's going on. All right. It can be said war of the worlds. World War III is war of the worlds. Okay. Meaning the third dimension and the fourth dimension, because the angels and the one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus, okay, are going to fight in World War III as well. And people don't factor that in. First of all, they don't know. Second of all, they don't understand what World War III is about, okay? Now, the one that you call God, whose name is Yahweh, his son's name is Yahweh Shai, so we say Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, which means God in the name of Jesus, right? Set this World War III up. And the reason he set it up is to get all the armies of the world into one place so that when he sends his angelic army from the fourth dimension into the third, they're all going to be in one area. And then the angelic forces are going to take down all of the armies of the world in one fell swoop. Okay? And people don't understand that. All right? They don't understand what World War III really is about. Why are the participants in World War III, and I mean the Earth armies, why are they fighting each other? Because they all agreed to come into what they call the New World Order. Okay? But what are they fighting about? They're fighting over who's going to control or run that shit. All right? That's where the discrepancies are. All right? Because they're all Confederate, they're all with the New World Order, but as far as who's going to run it, they're like, well, America ain't running this shit, and fuck the petrodollar. No, we're not doing that. Right now, there is something called a digital currency or digital monetary system that they're bringing in the New World Order, but still, who's going to run shit? Okay? What is going to be the spirit of the petrodollar going into this digital currency, right? And who's going to control the situation like America was able to do after World War II? That's why they're fighting amongst each other. And the Most High, God, put the spirit on these leaders, the leaders of these armies and these nations, to fight against each other. Why? Because he's setting up an ambush. Okay, that's what World War III is about. All right? Right now, all the nation's armies are threatening each other with nuclear weapons. Okay? Now, there are things, all right, the uptick in UFO sightings and just the overall attention to UFOs has gone up dramatically. Why is that? Because all these things are working together to bring forth the end. Okay? And in the end, the one that you call Jesus is going to win the battle and bring the world under submission under his foot. That's what's actually going on. All right. Now, this is 2nd Ezra 13. And we'll go down here to 30, go to 29. All right. Behold, the days come when the Most High, that's Yahweh, God, if you will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. What does it mean to deliver them that are upon the earth? God is going to use these nuclear weapons to destroy the world as we know it. Okay? Now, he's going to rescue some people from this catastrophic event, if you will. All right? And the ones that he's going to save or deliver or to rescue from the cataclysm, which is this nuclear fire burning a motherfucker's ass up, pardon my French, are the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay? But that's a different lesson. But that's what this means. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Why will he come to the astonishment of them that dwell upon the earth? Because nobody is expecting, number one, for God and his son to look like so-called Negroes. They're going to be astonished at that. The angels look like so-called Negroes, dark skin and woolly hair. All right? They all look like that. Now, we've been taught nothing but lies that a picture painted in the 1,400 years after Christ, that's what he looks like. No, that lie has deceived the whole world. So nobody's expecting Jesus, whose name is Yahushua in the Hebrew, to come looking like the people that catch the most hell. That makes sense, though. Okay? It makes sense that if Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus, was beat down and hung to a tree, it makes sense that he would look like a Negro. All right? But in everybody's mind, he looks like the opposite of that. So he's going to come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Why? Because he's coming to deliver people largely that look like him. Or we'll put it this way, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right, are going to be the bulk of those who he's coming to what they call save, rescue, or deliver. Now, there are going to be other elect of Israel that look like these other nations. There's going to be some that look like Chinese. There's going to be some that look like Arabs, Africans, the so-called white men, okay? There are going to be some, but the majority of them, they're going to say, well, why are all these niggers being saved, getting beamed up onto the chariots, all right? Because that's how the delivery is going to take place. The UFOs, the chariots of Israel, are going to beam up and save the elect of Israel, okay, right before the bombs hit. That's what World War III is all about, okay? Now here's World War III, when they all start fighting, when all the nations, armies of the world start fighting one another. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another. Now, the next line shows you where the angels come into the fray. And one realm against another. Okay? That one realm is talking about this. This realm, the fourth dimension, and this realm, the third dimension. Okay? Nobody understands what this is or how this factors in to what is about to happen on the earth. Okay? God is in control of everything. He's running the show. All right? But in order to understand what this what the whole show is about, God will have had to show you what these mysteries are about. So if you were drawn to come to this video and see what's going on in this video, then you're being shown the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Whether you hear or forbear, whether you agree or not, here's what's going on, and you're going to see it with your own eyes very soon. Okay? Because this is already taking place right now. I could pull up a video that shows you this going on right now. All right? The Pentagon has released, right, footage of these angels, blue angels, fighting against God's angels, Michael the archangel and the angels of heaven. On their radar, on their radar screens, on their crosshairs, they have this in the crosshair. And they can't keep up with it. They're watching it. They try to fire on it, and they can't hit it. So it's already going on. Oh, well, you talking about you? I can pull it up. All right? So that's what this means right here. One city, okay, and one shall undertake to fight against another, World War III. One city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and then this, one realm, fourth dimension. These craft are going to come out of the fourth dimension into the third, and then it's on and cracking. Okay? Now, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen, which I showed thee before. See, he's talking. Ezra's talking. Most High is talking to us. He's talking to Ezra. Now, Ezra's is back in the reincarnation, so all of these things were made known to us a long time ago. Now, today we understand these things, and we're telling everybody about it. That's what a prophet does. He warns the people, and that's what we're doing. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. Okay? Now, this is when World War III is already popping. This is when the armies of the world see these craft come in from the fourth dimension, and then they stop fighting each other, and then we got bigger fish to fry. We got to come against this. All right? And when all the people hear his voice, talk about this, voice being, see those laser beams being shot, every man shall in their own land, meaning their nation, all these nations fighting against each other are going to stop fighting each other. Leave the battle they have one against another. All the nations are fighting against each other. They're going to stop fighting each other and do what? And an innumerable multitude, all of these nations, all the armies of the world, shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. They're going to say, hey, cease fire. We got to take down these aliens, okay, these spaceships. All right? That's what this is saying. All right? So they're not factoring that in. These people have no clue what this whole thing is about. So we're going to watch this Modern Muscle. Okay? Today we're going to explore the unthinkable. How would the U.S. respond during a nuclear conflict? That's the least of your worries. Okay? You are going to go through that. But what about this? What about that? Okay? Before we go into this, because they're leaving out the main factor, this. Let's take a look at it real quick. Okay? take a quick look here.
No matter what type of...
Of course, there's a damn commercial that we have to watch all the way through. Bear with me. See, people don't know about this, nor are they factoring it into what is coming.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
A whole fleet of them. Not just one. Okay? Now, this is like an F-14 or F-18 or whatever it is. Okay? Either Navy, this is a Navy, like the Blue Angels. Okay? And this is his FLIR or whatever system, radar system. And what's this? So it's going on right now. The Pentagon is releasing this stuff. All right? They're not making this shit up. Go watch Independence Day with Will Smith, and they're showing you exactly what's going to happen. Although they flipped it and made Will Smith and America somehow defeat God and the angels, right? Which ain't going to happen. But anyway, they know. All right, here it is.
Well, look on the ASA. My God.
My God.
We're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots to the west. Look at that thing, dude.
They're astonished.
That's not LNS, though, is it? It's not. It is LNS, dude. Well, the first look at that thing.
It's rotating.
It's rotating.
All right, good enough. This was going on in World War II, the Foo Fighters, the whole thing. Goes all the way back when Pharaoh tried to fight against God, which was stupid, okay? And they were out there in the desert. The chariots were out there. Pillar of fire by day, a pillar of cloud by day, a pillar of fire by night. Anyway, so we're going to watch a little bit of this. And all they're gonna expound upon the earthly war of World War III and not factor in this. All right, that was my point of showing all of it, is they're not even thinking about the latter end or that nobody's going to win this thing. God and the angels. God, Yahweh Shai, and the angels. Yahweh Shai, and the angels are going to win World War III. All right? It says so in the book. Anyway.
It's been over 80 years since a major conflict has broken out in Europe. The result has left many with a deep sense of uncertainty. Nearly 70% of Americans surveyed by the American Psychological Association fear that we are at the beginning stages of World War III. The prospect of nuclear conflict, once unthinkable, is now a very real possibility.
Okay, so let's listen to that again, because this is World War III, is what he said. All the experts are saying, this is the beginning of World War III. Duh. I showed you the outcome of World War III. But see, they're not going to factor in, right, the main element. What about God? What's God doing? If God is omnipotent and omniscient, right, isn't he pulling the marionette strings behind everything? The answer is yes.
Uncertainty. Nearly 70% of Americans surveyed by the American Psychological Association fear that we are at the beginning stages of World War III.
You better be afraid, because the end result is the nation of Israel being in rulership on the earth, starting with the main Israelite, Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call Jesus, who is a so-called black man. He's the original angry black man. and you're going to see it. And he's coming back for payback. Okay? He's coming back for payback. He's not coming back to hand out daisies and roses. Okay?
Prospect of nuclear conflict, once unthinkable, is now a very real possibility.
He's coming back for war. You think war is hell? This war is going to be the last war. Ain't going to be no more war after this. The firepower and the strength, the sheer strength of God and the angels, ain't going to be no more war after this. Okay? Because you can't overcome God and his army. See, God has an army, right? The angels of heaven, the heavenly host. The word host means army. Okay? And you can't take down the angels. Get that through your head.
Today we're going to explore the unthinkable. How would the United States respond during a nuclear conflict? What's America's nuclear war plan? How many nuclear weapons are readily available to the president? Where are they? What are their targets? How many missiles would be launched? How many casualties could we expect after American bombs reach their destinations? What would the world look like going forward? And most importantly, could the United States win a global nuclear war? The United States operates under a nuclear triad, consisting of land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs, sea-based submarines armed with submarine-launched ballistic missiles, or SLBMs, and air-based strategic bombers, carrying gravity bombs and air-launched nuclear cruise missiles. Now let's take a look at each part of America's triad and its weapon delivery systems. The first and most well-known part of America's nuclear triad is its land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs. The U.S. has 400 LGM-30 Minuteman III ICBMs that are launched via silos. This is a full...
Slovakia.
These 400 missiles have a range of over 6,000 miles and have near pinpoint accuracy. When launched, the three-stage Minuteman III travels at speeds of over 15,000 miles per hour, reaching its target in under 30 minutes. Each Minuteman III missile carries one warhead. 200 Minuteman III missiles are armed with a 335 kiloton W87 Mark 21A warhead, while the other half are armed with a 300 kiloton W78 Mark 12 warhead. Each warhead has around 40 times the destructive power of the bombs dropped on Japan in 1945. America's Minuteman III silos are based in 3 rural areas: the 90th Missile Wing at F.E. Warren Air Base in Colorado, Nebraska, and Wyoming, the 91st Missile Wing at Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota, and the 341st Missile Wing at Maelstrom Air Force Base in Montana. Each wing has 3 squadrons, and each squadron has 50 Minuteman III silos. They're collectively controlled by 5 hardened underground control launch centers, each operated with 2 military officers around the clock at all times. In the event that launch command centers are destroyed in a surprise attack, or the military officers inhabiting the launch command control centers get cold feet, these missiles can and will be remotely launched from an airborne command center, carrying out orders from the president. As with all things, there are advantages and disadvantages of the silo-based Minuteman III. Its primary advantage is that these 400 missiles make the most responsive leg of the nuclear triad. America's land-based ICBM force has remained on continuous around-the-clock 24/7 alert since 1959. They can be quickly launched in less than 5 minutes. America's silo-based ICBMs offer a strategic advantage as well. Due to the remote launch capability, an effective nuclear attack against America's Minuteman III silos will require at least 400 warheads, or 1 bomb aimed at each silo, forcing the enemy to use and deplete a considerable amount of their nuclear arsenal. But this strategic advantage also highlights the Minuteman III's disadvantages. America's land-based Minuteman IIIs are inherently vulnerable, as their location is commonly known, and therefore silos can and will be easily targeted. As a result, in the event of a large-scale attack, the president would be put in a sticky situation. He or she would have to either use these 400 missiles or lose them, forcing a large-scale retaliatory attack in response to perceived incoming warheads targeting American silos. With enemy missiles already in flight, the leader of the free world would only have 15 minutes to decide. And once a missile is launched, there is no turning back. The second arm of America's nuclear triad is its air-based strategic bombers. The U.S. Air Force currently operates a fleet of 66 strategic bombers. America's strategic bombers are organized into 9 bomb squadrons and 5 bomb wings at 3 bases: Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota, Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, and Whitman Air Force Base in Missouri. There are 300 nuclear weapons currently deployed at strategic bomber bases in the U.S. An additional 100 tactical nuclear bombs are deployed at NATO air bases in Europe.
All right, so they're going into what America has. Did you go into what Russia has? Or is this just a faith booster that somehow, look at this, that somehow America is going to win a nuclear war? Let's see. No. Okay, so look at this. This is bullshit. Okay, nobody's going to win. Well, the angels and God are going to win. Okay? This